My girlfriend Megan told me she needed a break to find herself. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I just said, okay. That one word shut everything down. She wasn't ready for it. She was expecting a scene. She was expecting drama, tears. What she got instead was silence, a sense of calm, and a guy who had already made up his mind. That was the night our 5-year relationship started to fall apart. Just a regular Wednesday night in Portland, Oregon. No big fight, no cheating, just some leftover Thai food on the coffee table, and a woman who decided she wanted to hit pause on her life with me. I think we need a break, she said, not looking me in the eye. Her voice was soft but certain. I didn't flinch. I'm not the kind of guy who panics. I've built my life with steady hands. I own my house, work in IT, and I don't mess around with drama. If you need a break, take it, I said, setting down my fork. But this is my house, so you'll need to figure out where you're going. She blinked. Wait, seriously? Dead serious, I said. She didn't expect that. She thought I'd fight, that I'd beg her to stay. But why would I beg someone who was unsure about me? If you don't know what you've got, I'm not about to sit around waiting for you to figure it out. She didn't say much after that. Maybe she was in shock. Maybe she thought I was bluffing. But by the end of the night, she'd packed a suitcase and called her brother to come pick her up. She lingered at the door for a second, like she had something else to say. I just opened the door, let her walk out. That's the thing about people who want to leave. You let them. The silence afterward wasn't crushing. It was almost a relief. I sat on the couch, stared at the cold pad thai, and felt more annoyed than anything. Megan had every chance to speak up, to talk to me, to fix what needed fixing. But instead, she went for the easy way out. The next morning, I boxed up her stuff. Some toiletries, a couple of hoodies she always stole from me, her copy of Pride and Prejudice. I put the box in the hallway closet. She could come get it whenever. I wasn't chasing her down with a care package. Nothing changed much without her. I still woke up at 6 a.m., hit the gym, worked on my client projects. The house was quieter, yeah, but that wasn't a bad thing. It gave me space to think, to breathe, to get back to me. About 3 days in, the whispers started. Friends, neighbors, people who meant well, but couldn't keep their mouths shut. My sister called first. She really just packed up and left? Yep. You did the right thing. Don't let her walk all over you. If she doesn't know what she has, that's her loss. Then my best friend Matt came over. He doesn't do sugarcoating. You dodged a damn bullet, man. Imagine if this happened after marriage. With kids in the mix? She folds under pressure. He wasn't wrong, and hearing it from someone outside the relationship helped me see it clearer. Then came the unsolicited updates. Jordan texted, ran into Megan at the food truck park. She seemed different. Different how? I didn't ask. Then Lauren called. The moment she said, I wasn't sure if I should tell you this, I knew I didn't want to hear it. Saw Megan at a bar last night. She was with some guy. Looked kinda cozy. Cozy. That word echoed, not because I cared about who she was with, but because it showed how fast she moved on. Her break wasn't about self-discovery. It was a test run. I didn't text Megan. I didn't ask questions. But the updates kept coming. My neighbor Janice leaned over the fence while I was mowing the lawn. Saw Megan jogging with a guy this morning. He knew? Probably, I said. Doesn't matter. But the truth? It did bother me, just not in the way people expected. I wasn't heartbroken. I wasn't jealous. I just felt insulted. We were together for 5 years, and the second she walked out the door, she was already moving on. Instagram confirmed it. Her story popped up. Her laughing across the table from some guy at one of those bougie brunch places she always said she wanted us to try. She looked like I never even existed. I shook my head and swiped past it. Then Rachel called. Megan saying you asked for the break. That you kicked her out? I laughed. Not a happy laugh. More like disbelief. Nope. She wanted the break. I just told her she couldn't have it while living in my house rent-free. Yeah, Rachel sighed. That's not how she's telling it. She's playing the victim. Classic Megan. But I didn't care about clearing my name. I wasn't in high school. Let people believe what they want. The people who mattered knew the truth. 3 weeks later, she texted, "Can we meet up?" I almost ignored it. But I was curious. What angle was she playing now? I told her to pick a place. She chose the park downtown, the one we used to hang out at, probably trying to stir up nostalgia. I got there early, bought a coffee, sat by the fountain. She showed up looking small, not physically, but in spirit. Hair tied up. No makeup, that oversized sweater she always wore when she felt guilty. "Thanks for meeting me," she said, sitting down. I just raised an eyebrow. Let her talk. She launched into a ramble about how she was lost, how she didn't want to drag me down, how she thought she was doing what was best for both of us. I waited, then she dropped the line. "I made some mistakes." "Yeah," I said. I heard. Her face turned red. She started stammering. "I didn't mean for it to happen like that. I thought I needed to see if I was missing something." "You weren't. You had what you needed. You just didn't realize it." She looked like she might cry. "I want to come home," she whispered. I shook my head. "No." She blinked. "No? You wanted a break. You got one. You wanted to see what else was out there. You did. Now live with that." She begged, said she missed me, said she realized how much she cared. "You cared after the fact," I said. "That's not how this works." I stood up. "Take care of yourself, Megan." And I walked away. When I got home from the park, I opened the closet, grabbed the box with her stuff, and threw it in the trunk of my car. No hesitation. I drove straight to her brother's place, dropped it off on the porch, rang the bell once, and left. No note, no explanation. She could figure it out. After that, I felt lighter, like a weight had finally rolled off my chest. I started reclaiming my space. Changed out the shower curtain, donated the decorative pillows she made me buy, rearranged the living room. Little stuff, but it made a big difference. Matt came over a few days later. "Dude, it feels different in here," he said, cracking open a soda. "Like, less tense." "Yeah," I said. "Turns out peace and quiet actually suit me." I focused on work. Without Megan's passive-aggressive texts or her cold silences to distract me, I was sharper than ever. I got more done in less time. Clients noticed. My boss noticed. Hell, even I noticed. Turns out cutting toxic energy from your life is good for business. But peace didn't mean I was done dealing with her. Megan started texting again. First it was a soft apology. Then a guilt trip. Then a bunch of closure texts. I didn't reply. Then came the calls. I declined them all. One night, she showed up at my door. I was out in the garage working on a woodshop project when I heard the knock. Thought it was Matt again. Nope. It was Megan. She looked wrecked, not the cute, sad kind of wrecked. The unraveling kind. Hair undone, hoodie swallowed her frame, eyes red. "What do you want, Megan?" She stood there for a second, hugging herself like the cold had finally caught up with her. "I miss you," she said. I almost laughed. "You missed the guy you thought you could keep on standby while you figured out if someone better was out there?" She winced. "I made a mistake. I thought I needed something else. But it was you. It was always you." I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. "You think you can say a few pretty words and all this just goes away? That's not how it works." "I know, but can we try again? Start over?" "No," I said simply. Her eyes welled up. "No? Just like that?" "Just like that. You wanted space. You got it. You explored your options. Now live with the choice you made." She tried to plead again, but I shut it down. "I'm not mad at you anymore. I'm not hurt. But I'm not letting you back into my life. You need to move on." She stood there in silence, tears falling freely now. "I'm sorry," she said. I didn't answer. She turned and walked away. And this time, I didn't watch her go. After Megan walked away from my doorstep, I finally felt like it was really over. Not the halfway, maybe she'll come back kind of over, the kind where you can breathe again. I closed the garage, turned off the lights, and slept better that night than I had in weeks. A few days passed without a word. Then came the inevitable fallout. Janice, my neighbor and part-time community newscaster, caught me outside. "Noah," she said, lowering her voice, "did you hear about Megan?" I hadn't. I didn't care to. But I humored her. "What about her?" "She lost her job. Apparently she botched a big project and got into it with her boss. Walked out screaming." I didn't say anything. Just nodded. I wasn't happy about it, but I wasn't sorry either. Actions have consequences, and hers were catching up. Over the next couple weeks, more stories rolled in. A mutual friend mentioned that Megan's living situation had blown up. She'd been staying with her brother after moving out, and apparently things had gone south. Too much tension, too many expectations. Now she was renting a single room across town in a sketchy apartment complex, the kind of place with bad plumbing and worse neighbors. It was a long fall from the cozy, stable life we had in my house, and she brought it all on herself. I didn't take joy in it, but I did feel validated. Megan had tried to play both sides. She wanted freedom without consequence, options without risk. She gambled, and lost. Meanwhile, I was thriving. I finally booked that solo trip to Colorado I'd always put off. Hit the hiking trails, rented a cabin, woke up every morning to silence and fresh mountain air. I came back clear-headed, focused, and hungry for more out of life. Work? Still killing it. I took on more projects, even started mentoring a couple of junior guys in the office. Felt good to be the one people looked to for guidance. And me? I was different now. Not colder, not bitter, just sharper, more aware of who I was and what I wouldn't tolerate. I wasn't out here trying to prove anything. I was just living. Friends noticed the change. Matt kept saying, "Dude, you're in a whole new headspace. You look lighter." "Yeah," I said, "because I'm not carrying anyone else's confusion anymore." That's the thing. Love's supposed to be a partnership, not a project, not a gamble, and definitely not a backup plan. Megan taught me that, by being the exact opposite of what I needed. Do I miss her? No. Do I wish things ended differently? Maybe, but only because I gave 5 years to someone who wasn't built to stay. She thought she had time, thought she could try the buffet and circle back, but when she came knocking, I'd already rebuilt, already moved forward, already decided I deserved better. And I do. If Megan learns anything from this, I hope it's that you can't treat people like placeholders. You can't call something a break when you really mean a breakup, then expect the door to still be open. That chapter of my life? It's over. Locked, sealed, buried, and I've already started writing a better one. Peace is the only thing I chase now, and I've finally caught it. Hey, thanks for listening. If you've ever had a story like this, I want to hear it. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you think. And if you're vibing with this kind of content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on what's next.